Hello. Today we're gonna talk about a new topic, which is why we adapt easily, or why our brain can adapt easily, and how I came to this conclusion. So basically, I was thinking there was a day when I was thinking of how I came to this point. I will share you an experience of mine, my experience. Basically, I think some of you already know I was born in the Philippines, and I was born there, and from age of I don't remember. Yeah, zero. From when I was born to age of 9. So I was in the Philippines till the age of 9. Okay, when I was 9, then my parents they moved. I mean, we decided to move. I mean, my parents was already in Italy back then. Okay, so both my parents were already in Italy, here in Italy. Then at the age of when I was 9, uh, I moved here in Italy. So basically, me, okay, the child me, the 9 years old me, needed to adapt to a new culture. So from a Filipino culture to an Italian culture. And for me, I think I remember. I will just express you my experience, but I don't remember all or how I felt. But what I remember is it was very hard. Not really hard, because to be honest, I was 9 years old. So what happened is moving to a different country, so moving abroad for a 9 years old, maybe it can be so easy because you are young. Especially when you are young, you can adapt easily. Okay, your body, your brain, everything. The brain of a young girl, or someone who is 9 or something, they adapt easily. So for me, when I was young, when I was 9 years old, I first needed to learn the language, and then I needed to adapt to the new culture, and also adapt to the dishes, so to the food, because I was used to eat Filipino food only. So when I moved here in Italy, in that time when I was 9, I needed to get used to the food. And whenever I remember I started my first day in school. I was like in fourth year of elementary here in Italy, and we needed to like eat the lunch. We needed to eat lunch, and the food that I was eating, for me, they were like, what is this? The young me, the young version of me, when I was 9 back then, I said, what is this? I cannot eat that. But then by time I learned to eat them anyways, because to be honest, if I will not eat the food, I will starve. So I forced myself to eat the food, so mostly Italian food. And I wasn't used to the food because, as I said, I was used to Filipino food only. And then the language, I remember my first day, the first day of school, I really couldn't speak Italian. I was like this, and I couldn't speak. I But the good thing is, if you move abroad, if you are like young at the age of 9 years old, it will be easy for you to learn the language. Because me, when I learned the language, I learned Italian in less than 1 year, because I was going to school every day. I was with Italian people. I was with people who always speak in Italian. So my brain actually was forced to learn the language till to the point that I was only used to speak Italian in that time. So for me, it wasn't very hard to to adapt to the new culture, to adapt to their food, and to learn new language, or to 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 get used to a new culture. But I want to share it to you because this also made me think that our brain is really a magnific organ of our body, an amazing part of our body, amazing organ, and it's my favorite organ of our body because, to be honest, it is amazing because it technically can learn. Okay, it teach me that it technically can learn everything. It can learn everything. It can adapt to everything. It can make you get used to a new culture, adapt to culture in different environments. So whenever you change environment, whenever you put yourself in a different environment, so if you are someone who is like planning to move abroad, or you are someone who is trying to learn a new language, or you're someone who is trying to adapt to a new culture, maybe because you needed to go abroad and you also need to live in a different country. Yeah, from so it can be a different environment from where you're used to. Then I'm telling you, based on my experience, that it's not gonna be hard. It's easy. But I also know that if you are young, maybe for a young girl or a young person, it's more easy to adapt yourself. But even if you're like an adult, even if you're like 17 or 18, or even if you're like 20 plus, your brain is wired to also adapt itself. Your brain will get used to the culture and to the new environment. And this really teach me something very useful for me, that every time we try something new, because every time we try something new, every time we do something new, or something that we are not used to do, or something that kind of, yeah, we don't really know, or we don't really have any idea of that thing that we're gonna do, or that place of where we're going. Everything new to us. Maybe sometimes it can be scary because the thought of doing something different, it can be scary because you don't know anything. You don't know anything about that place. You don't know anything about the place of where you're going. And you wait a minute. I need to pause. Okay, I'm back. I was sick, and I'm sick right now. So yeah, I kind of needed to do something. So whenever you do something new, okay, maybe the thought of moving in a different place, or the thought of you doing something different, it can be scary because you might think, oh, I cannot do that. I'm not used to that. I'm not used to anything. Different culture, different environment. So if you are someone who maybe you are a you're a student, right? Or you're going to university, or you need to go in a different country for school, or for internship or stuff, or you need to move abroad because you have to work in that place in order for you to provide for your family. Or maybe you need to move in a different location or environment because you're doing a different job and you need to do different job. Or maybe it can also be something new for you, especially if you're a young person. And maybe that thought of you doing something different, it can be scary because you don't know what you don't know what's gonna happen there. You don't know how you're gonna react, how your body gonna react, how you will learn things that you never learned before. But I am telling you, based on my experience, that when I was child, or even if you're like an adult who is more than 20 years old and stuff, your body is wired to adapt itself to learn something. And especially, you don't have to feel bad if you are gonna do something new, or if you are not if you're gonna try something new, or you're gonna live in a different country. You shouldn't be feeling bad, because actually you can think in this way, that whenever you try something new, you're actually training your brain to get used to a different environment. So what happens to your brain is when you learn something, okay, when you learn something new, you are in a different environment, you learn a new language, or you are getting used to a new culture, your brain actually works in this way. Your brain is trying to make or trying to build a different path in order for you to learn. So every time you learn something, every time you are in a different environment, in order for your brain to get used to a culture or a language, or to learn a language, to get used to a particular food, or to get used to a new situation for you. Maybe back then you were with your friends and you were with your family, and then when you move abroad, you find yourself alone without anyone. You can experience a kind of trauma, or you can be experience loneliness, sadness, or you can experience frustration because you know you suffer emotionally also, because maybe you are far away from your parents or your family or relatives and stuff. You are suffering. Maybe you can be suffering, but your brain is actually trying to build a new path for you, for your brain to, whenever your brain tries to build a new path, okay, in order for your neurons to actually pass in those paths, it's like your brain is trying something different. So your brain always builds a new path. So every new path that your brain is building is actually makes your mind and your brain even more stronger, or even more powerful, because you are giving your brain ways to train itself. You're giving your brain ways to even more stronger, to be more stronger. So what happens to your brain is doing its best, okay, for you to adapt in a new environment and a new culture and learn a different language. Because whenever you try to learn and adapt and stuff, your brain always make or creates different paths. And whenever you create different paths for your brain, it will be something very useful, okay. I don't know how to say it. It will be a training for your brain. So you're teaching your brain to strength. I cannot find the right word, to make itself stronger, okay. You are training your brain to be more stronger, to be more clever. And I don't know. I cannot express you in a good way. But what happens is actually your brain is doing something good for itself, okay. So it's really something that I want to share you, because to be honest, I met someone, or I met people who was also feeling bad, because they said that they just moved here in Italy, like in less than 1 year, and they are suffering. But the point is, it's part of the process. It's part of their brain to adapt to a new environment. But at the same time, you also making yourself stronger every time you experience different difficulties, okay. Because when you are in a different environment, you experience difficulties. Emotionally you suffer because you're far away from your families, and you suffer because you're not used to the environment. But this will make you more stronger. This will make you adapt easily in the future. So whenever you try something different again, okay, maybe you will not move in Italy, but you can move in another country. For you it will be easy, okay. Again, it will be easier for you to adapt again in a new culture, because your brain already registered that this experience, you already had this experience before, okay. because whenever you learn something, your brain creates this path. And what happens is when you move abroad again, so maybe I moved to Italy and then I moved to another country, which is, I don't know, South American stuff. I'm just saying an example. So whenever you move in another country again, so you need to learn a new language and to adapt to a new culture again. For it will be easy for your brain to adapt itself. It will be easy because you already have experienced it before. So the fact that you already have experienced something before, for your brain it will be easy. So it will be easy for you to learn another language because you already learned something. You already learned a new language already. So it will be easy for you to adapt to that new culture because your brain already adapt itself to a different culture before. So whenever your brain create this path, different paths, and since they already exist, what happens is your neuron will just keep passing through this path that your brain already created. So this means that since those paths are already existing and they are already registered, what happens is this makes you learning even more easier. Your learning is be more easier. Your adaptive skills will be more easier. Your way to cope with hardship, to wait to resist, okay, to resist to an emotional experience, so to an emotional impact, okay, because when you move to a different country, it can have an emotional impact on you, physical impact on you, and a mental impact on you. So those impact, since you already have the experienced this effect before, what happens is when you move to another country again, you will not face, or it will not be hard, for you anymore to face these difficult things. It will not be hard for you anymore to adapt yourself because you already have experienced that before and your brain is already trained to do that. So what happens is your brain actually train, okay, you are training your brain to be more adaptive. And I really want to share this because our brain is impressive, and this made me think that whenever I will experience something different again, my brain is already prepared on that new experience. My brain is already prepared to learn another language again. So if I learned Italian and now I learn English, I can learn another language again. I can learn another language, which is Spanish. So if my brain is used to adapt to a new culture, so I learned that new culture, I adapted to Italian culture, I can also adapt to a new culture again. So I can adapt to South American culture, who knows, or any kind of culture. And if I need to learn another job, or if I need to get used to a different food, my brain will also, for my brain, or for me, it will also be easy to appreciate, okay, that kind of dish or particular food in that country. And this really made me think very, very in a very good way, that whenever I will move to a different country, for me it will be easy because I already experienced it before. But even if you never experienced that, even if you never moved abroad or never moved to a different country, if you have never done anything of this before, you can try even for the first time, and you will learn a lot of things. You are helping your brain to train itself. You are helping your brain to adapt itself. and it will be something good for you, because those experience makes you stronger. Those experience will always teach you something new. So whenever you try to do different things, just remember that it will always be for your benefit. There is nothing that won't be for your benefit, because our brain always learns something. We always learn something. We always adapt in anything. And this is my experience, and I want to share it to you to also help you. If you are someone who maybe you fear, okay, you fear the change of something, you kind of feel you fear that one, if you're gonna move house, you fear moving outside your parents' house. You fear moving to your own house, or maybe you're afraid to even drive for the first time. If you're someone who needs to get a new license, or if you're someone who needs to work for the first time, or if you're someone who needs to do a different sport for the first time, or if you're someone who need to try something different for the first time. Everything that is first time for you is a benefit. Everything you do for the first time are always a benefit for you, are always something that will make you stronger and will build or make you have different experience, and you can use them in future. They will help you in future, and those experience, those skills, those what you learn are what you need in the future. and and this is the only thing that I want to share you right now. I'm sorry, I'm kind of sick, so my nose is kind of closed, but I want to share it to you for today's video, because I this will remind me that one day, if I try something new, or if I move to a different country, I will adapt, and it will not be hard for me, because my brain is wired and my brain is made to adapt itself. So this is just for today. I hope you like it, and thank you for watching. And if you want, you can leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If not, it's fine, because this video are for me, and those video are me talking to myself for the future. Okay, talking to the me in future. So that's all. See ya. Bye.